Hey, greetings and salutations, everybody. So, yes, I know this is a little bit different, and kind of a freebie because I am going to start doing member live streams only. But for today, it is in view for people to see, but members of the channel are the only ones that have access to actually comment and stuff like that. So I got to give something to those people who taken a chance on this guy and became a member of the channel. So if you want to be able to chat, just become a member of the channel. Simple as that. And then if you don't want to be a member of the channel, that's totally fine. You don't have to be. But I do got to give something for it. You know what I mean? It's active. It's live. I have a couple of people who became members. So, and I haven't really been doing anything for them. So why not? Yeah, if you want to know how to become a member, there's a join button right down there. Click that. All right, there's 2-tier options, and you guys can become a member. Simple as that. All right, so I'm going to get into Google Fi. My experiences with Google Fi from the very beginning to currently now. And it's kind of funny how they have this slogan, the phone plan that can. It's kind of funny. It really is. So I am going to try this, and it's one of the things that's really kind of crappy about Google Fi, obviously, is if you have an account with them and you try to search them, it will go to their website. However, I think I do have an email address that doesn't have service with them, and if it doesn't have service with them, okay, cool, this one doesn't. All right, so I'm able to kind of like screen share, show you guys some stuff on Google Fi, whatever. If you guys decide to join up and everything like that, I will put my my referral code later on in the description. I forgot to add that in right now if anyone wants to join Fi. And you know what? Like it's got a long ways to go. Like I'm gonna be serious with everybody. The Google Fi's got a long way to go, and I am kind of happy to see the amount of advertisement that they're doing. Right? I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like on YouTube, there's a lot of Google Fi ads, and they got their little Google Fi jingle. Hence, the title of this live stream is based upon one of the ad jingle slogan in that song, right? Google Fi, a phone plan that can. And it's got a very good ring to it because my daughter sings it. She didn't even know. And then when I told her, like, hey, guess what? You're on Google Fi. And she's like, what? Because one day she was just like singing it. She was eating a bowl of ramen noodles, just chilling. And then she just started singing it. I'm looking at her like, do you even know what Google Fi is? But she's just eating her bowl of noodles, and then she just said, Google Fi, a phone plan that can. And I was just like, oh. Jeez. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was the assistant talking. It activated the assistant. They really got to like tighten down the hot phrase for the assistant. And it should only activate if you use those specific command words, not just because you say the word Google should it even like activate assistant at all whatsoever. Anyways, yeah, so she's eating a bowl of noodles and she starts singing it, and she's like, hey. So, like I said, I ported over 2 numbers, and I got 2 numbers, and I'm actually going to port my number from Verizon over later on. It still gives me the opportunity to transfer my own number to my Fi account. So we got 4 lines of the family plan, and you know, so far it's been great. With the amount of data that's being used, and this is so crazy because like with a single line, I swear, maybe I got hit in the head or something. But like when I had a single Google Fi account, it was like showing that I was using a good amount of data, even when I was barely using the phone. Like, I remember in one of the accounts that I had, the very first day of usage, they put me at like 1.3 gigs. 1.3 gigs by the end of the day. And I did Twitter. I didn't watch any YouTube from it. I didn't stream anything on it. I didn't stream any music. I was like on Twitter and I was on Facebook for a little bit. But mostly on Twitter. And I uploaded some photos to Twitter. And there weren't even like crazy, insane file sizes, you know what I mean? And it put me at 1.3 gigs. But this time around with 4 lines in the family plan, and I'm noticing that like, you know, with what I do, it's not really putting me over 1 gig by the end of the day. And, you know, for my daughters, it does, because they play a lot of games, you know what I mean? They play like Roblox and stuff like that, right? And while that's not very intense on the network, it becomes intense when they're on it for like 2 hours. So, and then it becomes pretty intense usage. But their usage is not even that bad. Like I think in one day they used, I think it was like 2.1 gigs, and they were on it for like 6 hours playing Roblox. That was on a day that they had off from school during break, or finishing up break. Actually, it was the weekend. They were finishing up their Thanksgiving break. So like I can see that, but like, and I was looking at my usage, I was like, wow, it only put me like at 0.3 gigs. So not even 1 gig yet on my very first day. Excuse my dogs, they bark at everything. A dog walks by the window and my dogs will bark. Like as if like the other dogs are even gonna give a damn about what they're doing or what they're saying. Like, this is why when people are like, hey, should I get a Chihuahua? I tell them, no, don't, because they don't ever shut up. This is one of the things. However, so I've been using Google Fi on and off. I originally liked using Google Fi just for the simple fact is that it had the international calling, especially when they beefed up the international calling. See, in the early days of Project Fi, you could call internationally, but it was like a per rate minute type call thing. So I was just like, okay, well, eventually they started to add more to the Unlimited Plus plan. I guess because they were gearing up. They were gearing up for the Simply Unlimited, which I'm just going to kind of go over that. Hold on, let me see if I remember how to do this. Oh yeah, that's right. Screen share. Screen share. Screen share for me. Screen share for you. Screen share for everybody. All right, boom. Okay. And I wish I could just turn that notification off when you screen share and then it pops up on the thing and it's like, hey, by the way, yeah, you're screen sharing now. Like, I know, I engaged in that. Like, Okay, so let me just go ahead and just kind of throw this. No, wait, I'm not even trying to record. What the heck? Okay, so I will throw that off. And wait, why is it not showing my camera anymore? Oh, well, whatever. Okay. So as you can see, there are different options here, right? Pick your plan. You literally pick your plan, right? How many people are you going to have? How many people are you going to have on the on your Google Fi plan, right? So we're gonna do it by one. We're gonna do it by one, and then I'll move it up, and you guys can see like what it is when you add more people. Okay, so we have 3 different plans here, and by far this is like one of the things that I do like about Google Fi, right? So you have the flexible for one. Great if you use less data or lots of Wi-Fi connection, right? It's $20 for each line, or $20 basically for the unlimited talk and text, and then you're paying $10 per gig. Now this is where it gets kind of confusing for people. Paying $10 per gig. So like if you use only 1 gigabyte of data, then your bill is going to be $30. If you use 2, it's going to be 40. You use 3, it's going to be 50. You use 4 gigs, it's going to be 60. You use 5 gigs, and it's going to be 70. You use 6 gigs, and it's going to be 80. Now this is where they have that what they call bill protection. So at 6 gigs, beyond 6 gigabytes, they stop charging you per gig. So if you use 7 gigs, it's still $80. If you use 8 gigs, it's still $80. If you use 9 gigs, it's still $80. If you use 10 gigs, it's still $80. I think it's when you hit 15 gigs. So when you hit 15 gigs of usage, that's where the threshold stops, and they slow you down for the remainder of the bill cycle. Now you can add on more high-speed data by going back to paying the $10 per gig rate. So if you use 16 gigs and you added 1 gig of high-speed data, well, then you're paying $90, and so on. So that's what the flexible plan does. Now, if you were to, let's say, let's go back real quick. So like we're on the flexible, right? So let's say if you add 2 people to that, then it's $18 each. So 18 for the unlimited talk and text each line, and then $10 per gig each line usage. But this is where the bill protection changes. So 18 each line, $10 per gig. The bill protection starts at at basically, I think it's 100, like 10 gigs. So when you reach 10 gigs between both, then that bill protection turns on, right? So then you're not paying beyond that unless you go past that. And I think the threshold is 20 gigs because it's 2 lines. So instead of it being 15, it's 20 gigs. So from 10 to 20, you're not charged per gig. But you're still charged the previous amount of data use plus the 18 each line, right? If you option 3 lines, it becomes 17 each. If you option 4 lines, well, it's still 17 each. If you option 5 lines, it's $16 each. And if you option 6, it's the same, $16 each. That is for the flexible, right? So let's go back to here and let's I don't want the monthly taxes and fees because everyone knows what monthly taxes and fees are. All right, now this is their latest unlimited, which is the Simply Unlimited. Okay, it's $60 for 1 line, and you got to factor in taxes and fees to be included in that. So if you were to option 2 lines of service, it's $45 each line. If you were to option 3 lines of service, it's $30 each line. Same goes if you choose 4 lines, it's $30 each line. If you choose 5 lines, it's $30 each line. So that's $150 for 5 people. And if you choose 6 lines, it's $180 for 6 people. So 6 lines on Google Fi on the family plan, or $180 before taxes. Now, if we were to do Simply Unlimited, and by the way, the Simply Unlimited just gives you unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data to a degree, but that is that you have a 22 gigabyte data cap on each line. So if it's 1 line of service, you have 22 gigs, and then after that, you're slowed down for the rest of your 30-day bill cycle. If you have 2 lines, each line has a 22 gig threshold. So if you, the main user, barely use any data, but your secondary line already hits 22 gigs before the month is up, they'll be slowed down, not you. You'll be fine because you still got more high-speed data to go through. Same if it was, 3 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines, 6 lines, right? So each line has a 22 gig hard cap till you're slowed down for the remainder of the bill cycle. And that's what you get. Just unlimited talk, unlimited text, 22 gigs of high-speed data, but unlimited data because they don't turn it off. That is their reasoning why they call it unlimited. We can argue that point with everybody, like they're lying to us and they found a loophole. Yeah, but at the end of the day, theoretically, not theoretically, but just, actually, it is considered, in the eyes of the law, unlimited because they do not shut off your data. They slow you down, but they do not shut off your data. And that's the reason why a lot of companies stop using that unlimited high-speed data. Some of them still do, and they get away with it. Some of them stop doing it because they realize they could get sued. If they continuously talk about that, you get unlimited high-speed data with us, and they have like a 35 gig cap or they have a 22 gig cap, you literally can sue them for false advertisement because they're saying high-speed data. And high-speed data is counted as LTE or 5G network access, right? So if you're slowed down to 128 kilobits per second, which is 2G, that's slower. So you can't say high-speed data with 2G. No one's been able to say high-speed data with 2G since way back in freaking 2002, 2001, right? Shout out to Singular Wireless if you guys remember that one. And that will be next week's live stream. Members only is to talk about Singular Wireless. I'm going to talk about that. And it's kind of my thing to do on the members only live stream. So let me see. Has any of the members joined in? Nope. Okay. Just regular viewers, and that's cool. I'm glad you guys are here watching anyways. Like I said, if you guys want to be able to comment your thoughts, this is a members only live stream. So again, click that join button and become a member of the channel. And one of the perks is that when we do these member only live streams, you get access to watch them and to reply on them and conversate. These will be specifically for you guys. I am going to hold on to doing this. I'm not going to forget about it. So y'all are good. All right. So let's switch it up. Let's go and choose the Unlimited Plus. Now the Unlimited Plus was the unlimited plan that they came out with. Okay. So with the Unlimited Plus, you get unlimited talk, unlimited text, the 22 gigs of high-speed data, then throttled to 2G speeds, unlimited data. You also get 100 gigabytes of Google One cloud storage. You also get international calling unlimited to 50 countries. You also get international calling to other countries at a per minute rate discount. You also get usage of Google Fi outside of the United States in God knows how many countries. So this plan is perfect for the global traveler. And I'll tell you why. Okay. So yeah, there's people out there who don't like Google Fi and they're probably gonna shit on this whole live stream. That's totally fine. And I hope that you have 2-ply paper to wipe your ass with when you're done. But you can't ignore the facts. When you go with Verizon, you go with AT&T, you go with any other company, right? And then you want to go be able to use your device outside of the country. Obviously, you got to add on the international plan. Now, their international plans don't give you very much. Like, do your research. They don't give you very much, but they still give you access outside of the country. Very minimal amount, right? Because they don't really expect you to be using your phone when you're out vacationing, like in Amsterdam or something like that. They expect you to be going and having fun. They don't really think of you deciding to hop on Facebook Live to show everyone back home where you live, hey, I'm in Amsterdam and look at what I'm looking at right now. You know, they don't think of those things, right? So they give you barely minimum type, stuff, right? With the Unlimited Plus for Google Fi, the reason why this kicks ass as an international option for those people who are global travelers is because it just works. You don't have to add on additional things. You don't have to add on an international plan for this. If you have this plan already, you're on this plan. If you're on the Simply Unlimited and you're like, hey, next month I'm going to be in France, you can always go before your bill cycle ends and do a plan change and switch to Unlimited Plus, where you will have access to all this. That's why it says right there, great if you travel, tether, or use lots of data. Which, I mean, obviously, the use lots of data part's not really that, because you can burn 22 gigs pretty quickly if you don't have home Wi-Fi. I know, that's my experience. I've done it. But, the part of it being great if you travel or tether, because the other cool option with the Unlimited Plus is you have access to have data-only SIM cards. You literally could. You can have data-only SIM cards. And you can put those things in other IoTs, like another tablet that's, LTE or 5G capable. You can put that in that. You can put it in a mobile hotspot, little tiny MiFi hotspot box. You can put it in that and it works. So there's a lot more give with the Unlimited Plus. It's $10 more than the Simply Unlimited at $70 for one line. So if you were to option 2 lines, then it would be $60 each line. If you were to option 3 lines, $50 each line. 4 lines is $45 each line, so about $180 for 4 lines. And then 5 lines, $225. 6 lines, $270 a month for this plan. So in 1 month, if you're traveling outside of the country, you could be looking at a monthly bill. Like say you had 6 lines on your Google Fi account. So you're going to go travel outside the country. Well, normally you're going to be paying $180 for, 6 lines, right? So you're going to be paying $90 more just for 1 month to travel outside of the country and give all 6 lines access for international usage. And like I said, it just works. Like there have been people who have used the Unlimited Plus Google Fi plan and were flying in mid-flight. I think it was Josh Vergara and other guys from Android Authority were flying to China for an event. And while he was in mid-flight, he whipped out his camera to record footage of when his phone told him, welcome to China. He had a layover, I believe it was in Japan, and the flight kind of like circled a little north, but then dipped back down south. So he crossed South Korea. It was South Korea and part of Russia. And when he finally crossed the border into China mid-flight, the phone was like, welcome to China. And as soon as he got there, he didn't really have to do anything. He didn't have to really reboot the phone or nothing. He just, boom, there was signal connection as soon as he got off the plane and was in the terminal. So with Fi, you don't need to add, turn on, have them switch on or anything like that. It just works. That's where the Unlimited Plus is. That's why I say that plan kicks the ever-loving goat's testicles of any other carrier out there when it comes to international travel usage, because it just works. It will just work. And, I mean, where can you do that? Like, seriously, go to AT&T, go to Verizon, go to T-Mobile, and look at their international plans and what they give you, and then compare it to the Unlimited Plus. But let's say you don't travel a lot, but you have a lot of family, outside of the United States, and let's say most of them live within the 50 countries that is supported for the unlimited phone calls. The Unlimited Plus gives you that ability to call everybody without a per minute rate charge. So it's like calling domestically. So you're only paying for the plan itself. So we'll kind of break it down here, but this is what's included, right? So data in US, Canada, and Mexico. All of them support that. Data is slower after 15 gigs on the 5 Flex. Let me switch it up and do 2 lines. And it didn't change that for some reason. That should have been changed. Bill protection. Oh, at 10 gigs with bill protection, but it doesn't tell you what the bill protection is. Why not? Oh, here's a bit of good information right here. It says high-speed coverage, including nationwide 5G for supported phones. Video may stream at standard definition or 480p. Flexible, when you use less data, your end-of-month bill will be lower. In months, when you use a lot of data, you're covered by bill protection. So that's what it tells you. But anyways, yeah, you can use this in Mexico. Let's go back to just having one line. Some people will just do like the one line service thing. On the Simply Unlimited, it is unlimited. It is unlimited for the Unlimited Plus. Both of those have the 22 gig. Then you're slowered. I really wish they would have upped that to 35 gigs at least. That would be okay. Now, with the 5 Flex and Simply Unlimited, you don't get the Google One membership, but with the Unlimited Plus, you do. That's the 100 gigabytes of cloud storage plus like the 40% off hotel stays if you actually use your membership when you sign up for a hotel. If you didn't know that, besides getting cloud storage on Google One, you also get percentage on discounts. Tower of Dragons, hey, how's it going? Welcome. And I appreciate you for being a member. I really do. We were cruising in 2019, went to the Bahamas and had data thanks to Fi. Yeah, Fi's got you covered, right? Fi has definitely got you covered. So that's awesome. That's awesome. You're able to actually utilize that. See? So, I mean, it does work out. But yeah, if you didn't know, with the Google One membership, you also get you get percentages off hotel stay. I was getting parched there. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but if you didn't know, now you know. You do actually get percentages off hotel stays, and I thoroughly use that because I like to travel with my kids and take them to go see different things. You know what I mean? So they have memories with family doing things other than staying at home watching television all day. So they go to the Grand Canyon. They've gone down south to Sierra Vista, a border town near Mexico. They've gone to Oklahoma. They've gone to California. We've gone in various parts of California, LA, San Diego. We've traveled quite a bit, and we're going to continue to keep traveling. You know what I mean? So renting hotels, having Google One membership gives me discounts at certain hotels. So that's always great to have. Share data across your devices. So with 5 Flex, you can turn on hotspot and you can get a data-only SIM card for your 5 Flex plan. So you can have one in it counts as data used. The Unlimited Plus has that ability too. The only one that doesn't is Simply Unlimited, like I said. So there is no hotspot, so I couldn't turn hotspot with my current plan right now, and I couldn't order any data-only SIM cards. Okay. So here we go. International features, right? So with the flexible plan, data while traveling outside of US, Canada, and Mexico. So it's the same rate. It's $10 per gig. Doesn't matter where you are. If you're in Germany, you're in France, you're in Japan, you're in South Korea, you're in Thailand, you're in the Philippines, you're in America, Samoa, you're in what's the other place? Singapore. It don't matter where you are. It's $10 per gig of data if you're on the flex plan. Okay. Now, affordable calls from the US to 200 plus countries, and it tells you you have international texts and calls while traveling outside the US and Canada. So you have that ability to make calls and texts. It's at a per minute rate, depending on what country you're calling or where you're calling from. If it's back to the US, you're good. And then, of course, they have the free to Canada calls and free to Mexico calls. Same with on the Simply Unlimited and on the Unlimited Plus. All those get the free to Canada, free to Mexico. However, if you notice on the Unlimited Plus, we kind of scroll up here so you see it. It says free to 50 plus destinations. So there are certain countries where there's no permanent rate call if you're calling from within the US. Outside internationally, if it's one of those 50 countries, it's like having an unlimited phone call conversation. If you're outside the country, or if it's outside of that, it's free in over 200 destinations for data while traveling outside the US. 200 destinations, 200 countries. Basically, you have that ability to use it there. So on Fi, you always get unlimited calls and texts, privacy and security features, family features, no contracts, cancel at any time, and then 24/7 customer support. So we're gonna kind of talk about that here in a sec. So now that we went over the plan itself, all right. Now we went over the plans itself. Let's just kind of talk about finance. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of going to do this real quick. Hold on. I think it's because there was an overlay. Yeah, because if I was to turn this back on, there I am at the bottom. Boom. I was hidden by the overlay. Okay. Anyways. So, all right. Let's talk about a few things here. Be real about this. Kind of switch this up. Put that on there. Boom. All right. Fi is just one of those things. And I always find myself going back to them. So, a couple of things here to know about Google Fi. One, who are they piggybacking off of? Because they don't have their own network built out, right? They haven't built out 5G. Now there's Google Fiber, which is probably one of the reasons why that I wanted Google Fiber to be built, and I back Google Fiber, because if they're able to come up with some sort of way to engage in phone, kind of using Fi and Fiber together, that would be great. That would be amazing. But obviously, you know what? Like my city, Cox Internet decided to sue my city for trying to let Google Fiber in. And that put a halt to the build out of fiber to be built out of my city because Cox was greedy. And Cox sucks here, really bad. 150 by 10, you're paying $150, just about. So with taxes and everything, you're paying about $186 here to have 150 by 10. That's 150 megabits down, 10 megabits up. And then having unlimited, because if you don't add the unlimited in there, then they'll start charging you after I think it says 1 terabyte of data, which my family can use 1 terabyte of data when we're watching Netflix and we're watching stuff like that in higher quality. Yeah, we can use 1 terabyte, especially if my son's playing on his PS4 or his Nintendo Switch online. You can use 1 terabyte in a month. So I had to have the unlimited option on there where there's no cap. And so I'm paying $186. With Google Fiber, I would have, if they were here, I would have paid, I think it was $70 for 1 gig per second by 1 gig per second speeds. So that's a gigabit per second down, gigabit per second up. And if you get 2 gigabits per second down, 2 gigabits per second up, I think it was $100 a month. That's not bad. But let's say that you did, just for 1 month you couldn't afford, you could downgrade to the free plan. Fiber was going to give homes free internet at 7 megabits per second by 7 megabits per second, free. All you had to do was just have the installation. If you didn't have fiber laid out into your house, well, then you had to pay for the installation of fiber to be connected to your house, and then you would get the free internet from Google Fiber. But if you already had fiber connection, they would just hook you up, and then you would be using 7 megabits per second. That's still good enough to watch YouTube. But okay. What does Fi use? Well, Fi uses T-Mobile. Originally, they were using T-Mobile and Sprint when they were separate companies. And you had Fi switch. And then they garnered a deal with US Cellular to cover them in the Midwest area. Because US Cellular has the Midwest and NorCal pretty much in their area, in their zones. Right? We don't have US Cellular here in Phoenix. So You had US Cellular, you had T-Mobile, you had Sprint, but now Sprint and T-Mobile are one company, right? They're together, so you just basically have T-Mobile and US Cellular. Now, I'm thinking that there might be some sort of deal in the works with Dish and Google Fi, because the Celero 5G, like I showed you guys in previous videos of the Celero 5G, it absolutely has like settings for Google Fi. Now, the only thing that sucks about that is that you can't pop a Google Fi SIM in it and have it work. You would have to get it SIM unlocked by Boost Mobile to be able to use it on Fi. But it does have settings to work on Fi. So could there be a relation between Dish and Google Fi that they've already started talks about and eventually will do in the future? I don't know. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. But in the meantime, right? You have T-Mobile, you have US Cellular. So you still have Fi Switch capabilities. And I've used it. I've gone out into the Midwest where my dad lives and US Cellular's out there, and I've seen the phone actually automatically switch and use US Cellular's network at times where T-Mobile was weak. And my dad lives in a small town out there in the Midwest. So you can't be expecting those towers to have been upgraded. They're not pumping out, was it N41, N71 just yet. There's barely any spots out there in the town that my dad lives in that actually has like some form of 5G. So most of the time you're seeing LTE on the very top of your phone. If you run a speed test, it's LTE. If you check Signal Check Pro, it's LTE. There's a lot of LTE, not a lot of 5G out there, but there will be one day. I mean, it is rural America, and T-Mobile says that that's what they're focused on is rural America. Well, America, you get out there and get that place covered. Yeah. But anyhow, with that being said, that's who they piggyback off of, really. And anyone that has Google Fi will tell you this: they have a deal in place with T-Mobile and US Cellular, but you do roam on AT&T and Verizon, so you do have connection to them. So if you're in an area where there's absolutely no T-Mobile and there's no, US Cellular, you will pick up signal and it'll be on the AT&T tower, it'll be on the Verizon tower, and you'll be good. I just wouldn't rely on that if you live in an area that has absolutely no T-Mobile coverage. I really wouldn't do it then, because that is roaming fees that they got to pay to Verizon and they got to pay to AT&T, and eventually they'll just cut you off. Anyone that's ever shared their horror stories like on Reddit and stuff like that, you'll probably know about that. So you can always look those up and read those up to find out. So yeah, when you're doing a lot of roaming, they'll just disconnect you, just cut you off. So that's who they use, okay? They have their little quirks here and there. Like one of the things that Google Fi has done for years, and I don't know if they're going to do one this year that's pretty cool. I think last year they did one completely different. Some people were complaining about it. I thought it was pretty cool. I was down for it. I voted. But Google Fi was going to donate. They had 3 different charities that they would donate to, and they let Google Fi customers vote on, what percentage goes to what charity of organization. We got to choose that. We could choose 100% to one particular one. We could break it up, 45% each one. Not 45%. Like, try to basically we just had to try to divide up the percentages, right? 20 something percent, each one, to try to get it as close to 100%. One was always going to top out getting more than the other two. They did that last year for Christmas. The year before that, Google Fi, I think they gave everybody a Google Home Mini. Oh, here it goes again. Yeah, they gave it a Google Home Mini as a Christmas gift. So they gave one per account. So you had to fill out your address, and they mailed you one, and you got one in the mail. The year before that, for a Christmas gift, they gave you a free Google Photos printout. So you chose the book that you want. I think it was a softbound book. I have mine still up in the closet. But you choose the family photos you want. And I think they gave you like the first 10 pages free. If you wanted to add on more pages to the photo album, then it would cost you, I think it was like some change. It was like 35 cents, or it was per photo and page that you would get charged additionally more if you wanted it. But if you just took the free one, it was 10 pages of photos, and They paid for the book, they paid for printing, they paid for shipping, and that was a Christmas. So Google Fi tends to like show people gratitude for you being a customer. They will give you a Christmas gift. So I mean, this year, who knows if they're going to do that or not? Like, you know, Fi has changed. A lot of people are reporting a lot of horror stories when it comes to Fi. I'm not entirely sure like how accurate these stories are, or if these stories are one-sided because they want the perception to be in favor of them. So Fi comes out looking like the assholes in this. Who knows, right? We're not there. We only know what they typed out on Reddit for everyone to read and to comment and speculate on. But we weren't actually there to deal with like the stuff. Like a lot of people were talking about like there was a major issue with Fi and FedEx, and you know, Pixel 6s weren't showing up. FedEx was stealing it, and everyone was arguing back and forth. Well, Fi is supposed to be responsible for it. Fi's like, FedEx is responsible for it. People are like, no, you should hold Fi accountable because they sold it and they chose FedEx to ship it. Like, yeah, you know, like everyone had great points to win an argument and everything like that, you know. But I don't know. I don't know if they ever resolved that issue when it came to FedEx and such. That's something that I just haven't looked into, because to me, like, if I, you know, when I order stuff from Google Fi, like phones and stuff like that, I think there was twice that I did the actual waiting, like 3 days, and then it arrived through FedEx. There was one time, and I think it was the Pixel 3. When I ordered the Pixel 3, I think I overnighted that. Like I wanted it overnighted. So as soon as I ordered it, like it was like a little bit before dinner, and I placed my order for it and I paid, and I wanted it overnighted. It arrived the next day. It was like at 2 in the afternoon it arrived. So it took like almost 24 hours to get to me. You just can't trust delivery services. While Google Fi would have been at fault for these phones going missing from Fi customers, you can't absolve FedEx's involvement in it. Because if FedEx truck delivery drivers are that crooked that they've realized that majority of the time, boxes that are from Google Fi will likely have a Pixel 6, a Pixel 6 Pro, or a Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G, then they're taking it upon themselves to steal it. One guy literally wrote down on Reddit that he was tracking his shipment package. It said delivered, and when he stepped outside, he seen the FedEx truck just zip by, didn't leave nothing at his house. He contacted FedEx. They told him it was delivered. He said it wasn't. He contacted Google Fi. They said if he had to reach out to FedEx, the carrier, to find out where your phone is at, give it 3 days if you don't get it. And like there was all this thing, all this back and forth. But then people were like complaining, like, oh, well, why didn't you just send me another phone? Well, let me tell you why. And this is not an answer to say like, okay, you know what, you should just shut the hell up and deal with it. Like, no, I'm not saying that you're going to like this answer, but this is the route that they chose to go by. They don't know if you are trying to manipulate them into just them sending you another device, right? You can order a Pixel 6, right? You could order it to go to your address. You could have somebody waiting on hand to snatch that box so that when you come outside recording, oh, I'm going to get my Pixel 6 finally, it's right, where's my box? Then you have a genuine reaction of, where's my box? Where the hell is my box? And then you're like calling all over the place, agitated. But you know for a fact you got your Pixel 6. What you're trying to do is get another one, which is like stupid anyways, because when these phones go missing, they have the IMEIs, the serial numbers for these phones. They can blacklist them easily so that they don't work on AT&T, Verizon, or any of these companies, right? They will send that IMEI as a list of blacklisted IMEIs that these companies are not supposed to activate. Sometimes they slip through the cracks. I'll tell you right now, I bought a phone that was blacklisted and it went through. It was an iPhone. It was blacklisted and it went through. How do I know that it was blacklisted? Because the person who sold it to me said it was blacklisted. But I was like, screw it. I was only going to use it on Wi-Fi anyways, but I decided to get cute with it and I popped a SIM card in it and it activated on visible. So, hey, go figure. Sometimes the blacklist just doesn't work. But people will try to manipulate the system. I know. I've actually manipulated the system without trying to manipulate the system. And this is back in the day with Virgin Mobile USA before they went under. But both myself and my lady had Galaxy S2 Epic 4G touches from Virgin Mobile. Her started to glitch out. She had the Titan Silver one. So they sent her a white version of it. I never sent back the one that was damaged from her. Then there was an issue with the white one. So she told them about it by phone. They sent another one and told her all she has to do is put the broken one in the envelope that comes with it and send that one back. So she gets another silver one. So now we have 3 Galaxy S2s, and we're not charged for any of the other ones. Then she dropped the phone in nacho cheese sauce. Told them the phone wasn't working. They sent another one to her, another white one. So now she has 4 Galaxy S2s. I have 1 Galaxy S2. So there's 5 total that we have, and we were never charged for any of them. None of them were reported missing or whatever. Like Virgin Mobile just acted like they didn't know what the hell they were doing, and so we ended up with all those phones. And that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes these things happen. Like you don't plan to manipulate the system; it just happens in favor that way. It's like Halley's Comet. You know, you're either there when it happens, and if you're not there, then you fucking missed out. Simple. Anyways, yeah. So that's why Google Fi will do that. Google Fi will tell you to reach out to FedEx. They will tell you that they're not going to immediately send out a replacement because they want investigation done. They don't want to send out a phone and lose out. And people are so quick to be like, well, why can't they lose out? They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They're owned by Alphabet. They can take that loss. They could take that loss. Of course they could take that loss. Of course they have the money to take that loss. But should they have to? No. I mean, that there's a difference between honesty and fuckery. Okay? You can be an honest person and someone drops a pile of money and give it back to them. Should you be expecting them to say, oh, thank you, man, I didn't want to lose that money, and expect them to hand you a $100 bill for giving back their money? No, you shouldn't have those expectations. There's honesty where you don't have the expectations. There's fuckery where you think if I hand them back this grip of money, they're going to give me $100 anyways. Here you go. That's the thing. Like this. So Google Fi got a lot of heat from a lot of people because they weren't just willing to throw out Galaxy's Z Flip 3 5Gs and Pixel 6s and Pixel 6 Pros and Pixel 5As immediately. They wanted investigations done. They wanted investigations done with FedEx and for the customer to do their investigation, and Fi would do somewhat of an investigation because what can they do? All they did was accept your order, process your payment when they shipped your phone out. That's about as far of an investigation as they can do. When it got into FedEx's hands, it's in FedEx's hands. FedEx is not responsible for that. Now, people are like, well, you know what? They chose FedEx, right? They chose FedEx to deliver their products to people. So obviously they got to work it out with FedEx. And yes, they do. They got to talk with FedEx and find out what the hell happened to this phone. This phone, our customer ordered, should have been in their hands. And just because the rep on the phone from Google Fi can't give you an entire Harry Potter novel of what went on doesn't mean they're not doing anything. See, people expect customer service to be like, yeah, we got the answers to everything. We got a third eye right here that just shows us the answers to every freaking thing that happens in the universe. And we can tell you it was a dark and stormy night and the FedEx driver was scared because the winds were blowing and he could hear howling in the wind and the dead leaves on the ground were just rustling down the street, barely any street lights on. And so he was going to get out the truck and he heard the most horrific howl and it was like, ah! And he freaked and threw the box out the truck into your yard as he hit the accelerator and took off down the road at approximately 65.777138.9 miles per hour. You expect customer service to have that type of graphic detail and shit? They're not even there delivering it. All Google Fi can do is talk with the people at FedEx and say, hey, our customer reached out, said, your FedEx driver clicked on his little scanner, scanner thingy, that the package was delivered for our customer's phone, but there was no package outside. Our customer realized that the FedEx driver was right outside his house. He came out immediately, did not see anyone walking up and down the road, but saw your FedEx truck take off. Where is our customer's phone? That's all Fi can do, is investigate from that end. The same way as you, the customer, can call FedEx and say, hey, this is day 2. Y'all said you lost my phone. Y'all better find it today. Investigation had to be done. They don't just spring up out of nowhere. So that's probably one of the biggest bad raps that Google Fi gets nowadays. is missing phones because FedEx drivers want to be crooked. Not all FedEx drivers are crooked. So if you're a FedEx driver, don't get your thong twisted into one. Not saying that you yourself are corrupt, but there are FedEx delivery drivers who are crooked. They know what's in the box. They can tell what's in the box, and so they'll find a way to snatch it because they don't care if they get fired. They got a foolproof plan that doesn't link them to it. I'll tell you a story about a time where I saw a FedEx driver driving down the street from where I used to live at on McKinley Street. And as me and my lady were leaving, the FedEx driver was driving. We were behind him. There was a car with the trunk open. The trunk open. So he's driving this way, and on this side of the street, guy standing out there with his car trunk open. FedEx driver passes him with the door or window, whatever the hell it was, slightly open, tosses a box. That guy catches it, throws it in the trunk. The truck is in motion because these trucks have trackers on it, right? So if they were to track and see, did at any point he stop to hand over a package to somebody, they won't have it because it'll show that he was in constant motion. I don't know if these trucks have cameras inside. I've never been in a FedEx truck to know if they have cameras inside or not. I'm just saying, like, FedEx drivers can be absolutely crooked. Just like USPS mail delivery people can absolutely be crooked. And UPS could absolutely be crooked. And OnTrack could absolutely be crooked. It depends on the person who's working for the company, not the company itself. So that's one of the bad raps that Google Fi gets. So I would say to anyone out there who signs up for Google Fi, if you're going to order a phone from them, overnight that. If you got the money to pay for overnight shipping, overnight it. Get it to you as quickly as possible. Don't allow a length of time for someone to cook up some cockamamie idea to just jack your shit and cause a clusterfuck of all kinds of moments. And besides that, they also say that customer service is bad. Well, if customer service is, that bad, how do you gauge it? Because here's the truth about things. I've had people say that when I worked for Sprint, I gave the absolute worst customer service ever. And the reason why that I was given that rating was because I wouldn't unlock none of their phones that they did not pay off. They wanted to port over to T-Mobile. They were like, oh, tantaran on their high horse. We're porting to T-Mobile because we can browse the internet and be on the phone at the same time. So we want all our iPhone 7s unlocked right now. Okay. I have to close out all these installment billings, so it's going to automatically just run the entire balance onto your bill. And then you have to pay that. And when you pay that, then I can request for them to be SIM unlocked to go to another carrier. Oh, no, don't you dare get stupid with me. You MFer. Let me talk to the manager. Lady, I am the supervisor. I am the supervisor that you're going to get requesting a supervisor. So you might as well just deal with me. Well, I want to go above you. Who's above you? Corporate. Give me their info. And this is where it would piss so many people off. Corporate's email for you to file a complaint is sprintcares@sprint.com. And boy, would they lose their shit. Like, oh my God. You don't care. You don't give a damn. Lady, I do care. I would love for you to stay if I can fix your problems, but you're not telling me what your real problem is. You're just telling me about how you're just going to trolley on off to T-Mobile. But you expect me to unlock all your iPhone 7s when you owe a balance of $300+ on each one of them. No way. So customer service, bad customer service is based upon the person's perception and also what really happened, what the real scenario is. That's that. The only huge caveat to Fi that I see is a 22 gig cap on the unlimited plan. They don't even give you 50 gigs. And I know that if they were to do that, it's going to raise the prices of their plans because T-Mobile garnered that deal with Google Fi. At this rate, your customers can access our network at 22 gigs of high speed, and then we have to slow them down. They're not going to give Fi the advantage to be on par with T-Mobile postpaid. Why? Because there's some extra goodies with Google Fi that they don't want customers from T-Mobile to jump over to. As a matter of fact, Google is a brand in and of itself. Just as much as there is a T-Mobile cult-like following, there is a Google cult-like following, and they're not oblivious to that fact. If Fi offered exactly what like the Magenta Max plan offered right now, at $60 plus what they're giving with their international calling services. Oh Lord. Yeah, there would be people on T-Mobile that love Google branding and will just jump to Fi. So they got to put limitations. They got to put their foot on the throat of Google to make sure that they're not better than their postpaid or their business accounts. And that's just being real. My perception of Google Fi hasn't changed. You know, I thoroughly enjoy using the services. I'm currently using it in my Pixel 6. And I have Lowe's Mobile on the Pixel 5. But I use Google Fi in the Pixel 6. I'm using it with no physical SIM inside of it. So it's using the eSIM. And so far it's been great. My call quality on this has been great. I've been making phone calls, can hear on my side, they can hear me on their end. It's fine. I send RCS messaging, it goes through. I send text messages, it goes through to my son who has an iPhone. I browse on the data, and then we see if they updated the Fi app, because they were like, oh yeah, so it goes, your current cycle ends in 30 days. They still clock me at 8.31 gigs used so far. And that's because I did a bunch of speed tests. When you do a bunch of speed tests, you gotta expect that it's gonna eat up a lot of the data that you have. But you don't do any speed tests, you do your normal thing, you should be fine with 22 gigs. If you have home Wi-Fi, even better, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be golden. You'll be great. You'll be good. Because when you're on home Wi-Fi, you're using Wi-Fi. When you step out, you're using the data that you have. The data's good. The speed is good. I've shown speed tests. You know, it's not millimeter wave access, right? It's low band that's doing about anywhere between 300 to 500 megabits per second down and about 80 to 120 megabits per second on the uplink. I can deal with that as a customer. I can deal with that. But all in all, it is awesome to see Google do this. And I hope that Apple does one of their own. I hear lots of rumors that Apple is going to do satellite phone calling. They're going to have some sort of deal going on. And I hope that's the case. How cool would it be for those people who love Apple products and just are immersed in the Apple ecosystem to have an Apple phone service plan so they don't have to be on Verizon, T-Mobile, or AT&T? How cool would that be? Like, I'm in support of that. I like these things. These things are cool. In my opinion, they're cool. And I would love to see them flourish down the road. I would love to see them do well. With Google Fi, I really hope one day that, you know, Google invests the time and money into building out their own network and eventually have a standalone network so they can offer fully unlimited. That'd be so cool. I know they could do it because they were going to do it with Google Fiber. They're going to give you fully unlimited at 7 megabits per second if you chose their free plan. Yeah, it's 7 megabits per second. But what if they were to go ahead and just do, like, you know, low band and mid band is fully unlimited, but if they were to have something similar to millimeter wave access, that you would be hard capped at 50 gigs per month. That would be so totally cool. I could live with that type of plan and charge me $70 a month plus taxes for one line. I would be okay with that. Or $60 on the Simply Unlimited. I mean, I know Google has a partnership with T-Mobile, just like they have a partnership with Samsung. It's the reason why people are like, why do I see Google Fi ads promoting the Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G? Of course, they gotta hold back on their Pixel because, you know, Samsung did help them out with certain things. So, you know, it's like, here, let me do you a favor. Let me stop advertising my, you know, our Pixels in favor of your Galaxy Z Flip. You know, your S21 Ultra will advertise your S21 Ultra and your Z Flip 3 5G and there. So like with T-Mobile, like, yeah, we'll do a 22 gig cap because, you know, we don't want all your T-Mobile customers to come to us. We just want some that are willing to just deal with what we're giving. And I'm one of those people. I'm willing to deal with what they're giving. I'm not going to die, cry, or anything like that just because 22 gigs. Like, I know it sucks because I've been there when I really needed it, but I'm not really creating that much content nowadays as I was months and years ago. You know, I didn't like this. Today was the first time that I've live streamed twice in one day. I think I did a live stream yesterday. And most of my content is like short videos uploaded pretty quickly. And I'm focusing on doing more like YouTube shorts and stuff like that. So I'm not really pushing the bar when it comes to content creating. So therefore, I'm not really uploading a lot. But I also have Los Mobile, which I thoroughly enjoy using. And I will talk about in a separate live stream. But I have that in my Pixel 5 and it kicks ass. And I dig it. Yes, it's not 5G plus on AT&T. I get that. It's not 5G plus, but you know what? Like, it's still decent speeds, especially where I'm moving to. Holy crap! This is gonna be one badass hotspot when I kick it on to do live streams. When I kick it on to freaking watch movies and stuff. Los Mobile's where it's at, but I'll save that for another time. All right. I got 5 minutes left. These member-only live streams are going to be 1 hour sessions, between half an hour to 1 hour sessions, not going beyond 1 hour. And at times, I will invite a guest on. But again, like, I got to show love to people who are actual members of this channel. And this is for you guys. So this one's a freebie. People are able to watch. I know you're not able to comment because it's members only turned on. Future ones, you won't be able to see. It'll be specifically members only able to see and comment. And yeah, this is for the members. I got to give them something. So it don't cost much to become a member. It's like 99 cents for the basic membership. 99 cents, $1 a month. Right there, just click join. You become a member. That gives you access to these to join in to talk. I would love to see more people on here. I really would. But yeah, that's why it is like this right now. For those who may have stepped in and didn't realize, or probably was just like, what the hell's going on, or seeing that it says members only. Yeah, but I'm giving you a free video to like kind of like see the dynamical flow, which seems like one of my live streams, right? A few swear words here and there, and I do apologize if anyone had kids around and they may have heard that. It's not my intentions to like, teach those words or whatever, but I'll just open free for all and just say what I wanted to say. So that's that. And it's going to be more about, like, I'm going to cover like Boost Mobile. Like I said, the next members only live stream, I guess we'll do Los Mobile. We'll talk specifically about Los Mobile. So I hope to see more people come to the members only live stream talking about Los Mobile, giving you guys real in-depth stuff that, I just haven't put out there. I can tell everyone that Los Mobile is great. But do you want to know exactly specifically why it's great? For me, don't miss the members only. Thanks for checking this out, this live stream. Y'all are good. Y'all are great. I love you guys very much. If you guys missed the earlier live stream where I was talking about Twitter, check that out. I'm a full Twitter backer. I like Twitter. So that's the reason why I talked about it. And I showed off some of my old phones. I have them still here back here where I was putting them at. I showed a lot of the old phones that I had on Boost Mobile that I unboxed and had the pleasure of using. So it's kind of like a throwback. And I timestamped it. So if you go to today's earlier live stream and you go into the description, there's timestamps. So if you want to skip all the talk about Twitter, you can jump directly into looking at the collection of old phones that I have. And if it brings some sort of nostalgic, memories to you, then that's cool. And of course, I've been shooting my videos in portrait format. I'm not going to change that up. People are bitching about that. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Do a landscape. Okay, fine. But I like shooting it in that format. So that's the way it's going to stay. Thank you, everyone, for joining in tonight. Y'all be cool. Be safe. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all next week. Wednesday is the members only live stream. Don't miss it. Become a member. Link right there. Join right down there. It's 99 cents.